Jyotiraditya is here. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about the economy. So I'm going to quote in your 2022-23 annual reflections note, you described India as the country that combines economic might, a large working age population, demographic dynamism, entrepreneurial energy, robust democracy and diversity. How are you seeing the growth of India in a short term and in the long term?
So I think that we are perhaps the only country that is going to see decadal growth of 6 to 8% every year. And that's saying a lot. For a large economy of our size, I think that's a huge achievement. And I see that playing out, with complete certainty. There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to achieve that as an economy, which takes us to become one of the much larger economies in the world and take our rightful position, as one of the largest, most prosperous economies, I'm sure, in the world. So I think it's a very exciting time, Rishi, and lots of opportunities ahead for us and also for, even more so for the generation after us, I would think.
Lovely. While the country is doing well, so are most of your, all your traditional businesses. Obviously, you all are number one or number two. That's also been the philosophy that, you will continue to be a leader. Otherwise, you would exit those businesses. You've now also entered a lot of the businesses which we call part of the modern India. Retail, telecom, quite a few of those. How do you see in the next decade the mix of revenue changing within the Aditya Birla Group?
I think that if I was to look out, I think that about 20% of the revenue will probably come from these new businesses, which is a large amount. I think that the value creation of some of the new businesses, that means in terms of the value of the business, can be much more than that. These are much more consumer-facing businesses which get valued much more. So we're trying to become a more consumer-facing company. That is the intent. It's also to be in sync with mega trends as are happening globally and in the country.
Okay. So talking about the consumer trend, you were the chairman of the Vodafone Idea Group. You had stepped down. Just last week, you've joined the board of directors again as a non-independent director. But what's triggered that for you to join the Vodafone Idea board again?
So I think that we are seeing hope again in the company. I think that the government is pretty resolute about the fact that they have to have 3 players from the private sector, in the industry, given the strategic importance of telecom as a sector. And I've seen impetus in that sector. Of course, for the sector, the other 2 players are doing very well, but the impetus from the government also for us. And I thought that as a promoter, it's only right that I also, indicate my willingness to take the business forward, which is why the decision to come back onto the board.
Lovely. We've got an interesting